Hi, I'm David Taylor. I'm an attorney with Twin Falls Estate Planning, and we're going to talk about why choose an estate planning specialist. And I guess the better question is, why me? And that's a fair question. So there's lots of attorneys out there, and I imagine if you did a Google search here in the Twin Falls area as to who can do an estate plan for you, just about every attorney will. I find most attorneys will say, yeah, we do water law, immigration, personal injury, family law, and estate planning. And their approaches to estate planning is going to be different than mine, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I would say the number one reason to go see an estate planning specialist is think of it this way: is if you wake up one morning and your back hurts, are you going to go see your general practitioner? Probably not. You're going to go see your chiropractor. Let's reverse that. If you wake up with a cold and you're miserable and feel like you need some medication, are you going to go see your chiropractor? Probably not. You're going to go see your general practitioner. That should be the same thing with your attorney. Go see your attorney for your family law matters. Go see your attorney for your immigration matters. I'm not that guy, but when you are looking for an estate planning attorney, come see me. And you can still see your personal attorney. If you've been buddies with your attorneys for many years, fine, go see your attorney for all other matters, but come see me for an estate plan. So here I want to talk a little bit about why see an estate planning specialist in general is, I say that what I do is I plan for Plan Z, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but Plan A planning is not hard to do, and this is what I mean by that. It's not hard to sit down and say, look, I know I'm going to die, I know who I want my stuff to go to, I just want to make a plan for that, keep it simple, and away I go. Well, a few things to that, and you may not realize it, but that's one of the most selfish things you can say is I'm just going to make a simple plan. And the reason why that's selfish, you may not realize it, and don't take offense if you say that, but you're leaving a lot of work for those who you've left behind. They have to put together some of the puzzle pieces, and they're the ones that are going to have to pay for attorneys to get together if something goes awry, because I can tell you with Plan A, if everything goes to plan, it's not bad, but it doesn't always go to plan. So here's what we're talking about here. Plan A planning, there's a few different types. The first is a holographic will. Did you know in Idaho that you can sit down, write out your will, sign it and date it, and that would be valid? Kind of a weird concept, but my mentor, he tells a story of a letter. It was a letter written from one brother to another, and he said, hey, brother, when I pass away, I want to make sure that you give my assets, and that was a will. It was not intended to be a will. It was just a letter of one brother giving direction to another brother, but in the state of Idaho, that was deemed a will. And in that case, it worked out just fine. The other type is a do-it-yourself plan. So this is your, you go online or you maybe go to Office Depot and you pick up one of those self-help will kits or something. Same thing, assuming you do it right, then you're really just planning for Plan A. And the reason why I say that is because I do have people come in and they show me what they did, and I typically, I think in every scenario that they brought it to me, I told them they did something wrong when they were filling it out. For example, I've seen people giving money to their ex-wives and they did not intend to, and I don't even know how they missed that when your ex-wife is named in there. But nonetheless, even if you do it right, it's still a Plan A plan. The last one is a simple will or trust. So if you walked out of your attorney's office and it had maybe 20 pages in documents, you're likely going to have what's called a Plan A plan. And let me tell you something about that process. Typically what attorneys will do is they will come, you come see an attorney for an estate plan. They'll ask you who you want, here's the options, who do you want, you tell them the names. And in my experience, what the attorneys do is then they send all the information down to their assistant. The assistant goes to the last will that was drafted, or maybe something that was similar. And I've heard that before, like, oh, we did a will like that back in 1998. Go find it, and then what happens is that person changes the names in that will to update it to reflect yours, and then they hand it back to the attorney for the attorney to approve. And that's not a plan. Or if it is, that's a Plan A. Think of it this way: if you left your kids with a babysitter, and if you're anything like my wife and we have twins. If we leave the kids with our mom, we have maybe like a one-page letter that tells her what to do with grandma. If we leave a one-page letter with grandma, that's probably okay. She knows them. If we leave them with someone else who's like a friend or who's like a 13-year-old girl, you bet my wife's going to write a 13-page novel on how to take care of our two children. So this is the same concept in that rewriting someone else's plan does not make it your plan. That was someone else's plan. And so when I say I plan for Plan Z, the main thing that I'm talking about is that it's Z for zombie apocalypse. So I plan for all of the things that we may not be able to foresee as we're sitting down in our meeting doing your design. And these documents that I produce, they end up being quite lengthy, and people say, well, I had an attorney once who said, what's in your estate plan that's not in mine? And I told him a plan. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of contingencies. There's things that we plan for that may not happen, but just in case they do, it's in there. And the reason why we do that is because we want to make sure that we give clear direction to the people who you left behind, and don't leave them confused, and don't leave them open to a dispute or a fight. And most importantly, we make sure that our plans are updated. This is another issue I see, especially with the simple will or with the attorney who went to the last one back in 1990. The law changes. You as an attorney adapt. You learn terms that you don't like, and then you change whatever you need to change. So my process is I build these from scratch, and I use a document builder. And the reason why I do that is so that I can make sure that each one is tailored to the individual. And also when I learn things, as I watch videos, as I go to trainings, that I adapt them and I implement them into my plan. So if you have a Plan A plan, come and see me and we can talk about it, because you would be better off with the Plan Z plan. And once again, my name is David with Twin Falls Estate Planning. I have a few slots available each week. Come in and see me. The initial consultation is free.